Does it bother you that a lot of young black people today have no idea what that was like?
Somebody dropped the ball. You see, a generation of people thought, well, I'm going to send my kids to Bryn Mawr and Brown and to James and to Mason, and I'll send them to Princeton and Smith, and Mount Holyoke. I'll send them to Yale and Harvard, and everything will be all right. And so I don't have to tell them about how awful it was in the 30s and 40s and even 50s. They don't have to know that. Wrong. It is very clear. He, she, who does not learn from his, her history is doomed to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it ad nauseum.
Is that what we're doing now?
Absolutely. Ad nauseum.
We are beginning to repeat the same.
So it is. This is why this project, why I said yes when I understood what you wanted to do. Absolutely yes, yes. I'm a very good fountain of information, and I have no modesty at all, none. It's a learned affectation, very dangerous. Modesty is put on from without, very dangerous. Because life will slam a modest person against a wall, and the modesty will drop off faster than a G-string will drop off a stripper. Humility is the thing one wants. Humility comes from within out, not out, on. So humility says someone was here before me, and I am here. I have something to do. I too have my responsibilities. And there'll be someone coming behind me who I must prepare the way for.
So how do we change? How do we break
By
the pattern?
This is absolutely, in every way possible. Don't stop talking. Don't stop putting your hands on the children. I do that. I put my hands on the children, the black children, the white children. I put my hands. So to such a degree that Elmo from Sesame Street was interviewed on the Today Show, and Matt Lauer asked, who you've interviewed or you talked to kings and queens and princesses, presidents, who do you like most? And he said, Dr. Maya Angelou.
And that's where our hope is.
Here in Washington, D.C., there's a school, the Maya Angelou School. And we accept children who've been in trouble. Only those who've come through the correctional system can go to the Maya Angelou School. And when the young woman, there had been a contest how to name the school, I'd been a supporter of the school. And I was there, as was Senator Domenici and, other senators, and Donna Shalala and Dr. Haidt and Secretary Herman and lots of cabinet folks. And this young woman got up and she said, well, I won, and they told me I have to read this letter, my winning letter. And I'm paraphrasing her, because she then at that time had that same lazy tongue. So she said, well, I think the school ought to be named Dr. Maya Angelou. And why? Because Dr. Angelou's been down here. Every time she comes here, she tries to pull us up. And she's been down low. She's been low as we are, And she's now up there. I mean, she's up there. She's up over all you white folks here. But Dr. Haidt said, woo! But they always pull the children, all of them. Don't let one slide. Not one. Not one Asian, one Spanish speaker. one white, one Jewish, one. Pull them.
But don't many of those young people who went to Mount Holyoke and went to Smith and Yale, et cetera, don't a number of them say, look, I don't need any.
Well, that's all right.
I don't need to be pulled.
Too bad. Well, if they don't. But I mean those who didn't, because they feel they didn't, they then don't give it to their children. But then they didn't get it. Their parents are the ones who sent them off to the white schools with the idea that this would make them even, well, and normal, and well, and white. Well, it's not. Going to school will not make you white. I have 53 doctorates, which means I've been to 53 universities. Hasn't had any effect at all on my complexion. So, no, it's not.
So these parents, and I know some of these parents, the ones that you're talking about, they feel that they're protecting their children from the horrors of the past, that the children don't need to know about what it was like before the Civil Rights Movement. They feel they don't need to know what the Civil Rights Movement was like.
Well, too bad. That's ignorant. It's just ignorance. I'm sorry, but it's ignorant. One can have enormous education and be blitheringly ignorant. Now that is blitheringly ignorant. He who does not learn from his history is doomed to repeat it. Machiavelli wrote that slim volume, The Prince, and I usually keep in any house of mine 6, 8, 10 copies of it to give to young men and women to read, because it became the manifesto for all Western nations. About 1507, about. In it, among other instructions, he showed how, if you really want to control the people, separate them, you can rule them. Divide them, you can conquer them.